Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather briefing on Monday the 17th of January. Today's weather brief will cover information on the United Kingdom, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. But first we will take a look at the 5-day averages over the next 2 weeks, and starting with the 11 to 15 day time frame, you will note that the current forecast is for temperatures to generally be below climate averages across many parts of central and western areas of Europe in particular. The following weather chart for Saturday the 29th of January helps to illustrate why temperatures may well be below climate averages, as high pressure dominates across many parts of Europe, bringing sustained, settled but also cold conditions. It should be noted, however, that there is some uncertainty over this. As a result, I believe confidence levels are low to medium, or medium at best, with regards to the temperature trends during this time frame, because there is a lack of model consistency over temperatures being below climate averages. Within the 6 to 10 day time frame, confidence levels are medium or perhaps medium to high, given model consistency over recent days for temperatures to be below climate averages, particularly seeing that all, if not the majority of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be below climate averages. And within the short term, confidence levels are medium to high, given model consistency for temperatures to be around, if not slightly below climate averages across most areas, as generally cold conditions develop across most of central, western and also northern regions of Europe. We're now taking a look at the United Kingdom, and first please note that the solid red line evident on the forecast model comparison graph is my temperature prediction throughout the next 7 to 14 days. And firstly taking a look at the longer term within the final week or so of January, and there is reasonable model consistency. As a result, I believe confidence levels are medium or medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be at least 2 or 3 degrees below a climate average of around 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, as rather cold conditions persist across the United Kingdom. Over the next 5 to 7 days, a transitional period towards colder conditions is forecast, as the very mild conditions of the last few days gives way to more settled conditions as high pressure becomes influential. This development towards more high pressure dominated conditions, however, will signal temperatures to drop and become around 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages. The following weather chart for Wednesday the 19th of January helps to illustrate why temperatures are likely to become slightly below climate averages as high pressure becomes dominant across the United Kingdom. And as is often the case during this time of year, high pressure normally signals temperatures to drop and become slightly below climate norms. So in summary, after some recent mild conditions across the United Kingdom, the next 7 to 14 days are forecast to have temperatures generally below climate averages by at least 2 or 3 degrees. And now taking a look at the expected temperatures across Europe within the next 5 to 7 days, and many central, eastern and northern areas are forecast to have mean temperatures below freezing and perhaps as low as minus 10 degrees across many parts of Scandinavia and also Eastern Europe. Within the longer term, during the final week or so of January, these rather cold conditions are then forecast to spread further west across many parts of Europe. As a result, even parts of the United Kingdom and Iberia are forecast to have mean temperatures near, if not below, freezing, which is at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages. Also taking a look at the 5-day averages ending on Tuesday the 25th of January, you'll know that all of the available forecast models signal temperatures to be below climate averages. Given this model consistency as well, confidence levels are medium or medium to high to suggest that temperatures will be at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages across many parts of Europe during the final 7 or 10 days of January. Taking a closer look at some individual countries, and here we have the Germany model comparison graph, and you will see there is excellent model agreement for temperatures to drop and become at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages beyond the 18th and 19th of January. This continues to illustrate and back up the synoptic situation, which supports temperatures to be below climate averages in the longer term. As a result, I believe confidence levels are medium to high to suggest that many central areas of Europe will experience below average temperatures during the remainder of January. Also taking a look at the Spain model comparison graph, there is also a similar temperature trend evident here as well, that beyond the 19th and 20th of January temperatures are forecast to drop and become at least 2 or 3 degrees below climate averages, despite some model uncertainty over just how low temperatures will become. As a result, I believe confidence levels are medium or medium to high to suggest that even as far west as Iberia, temperatures are likely to drop below climate averages during the remainder of January. Now taking a look at Scandinavian precipitation within the next 7 to 10 days, confidence levels are high for precipitation to be well above climate averages across many western and northern regions of Norway, as precipitation totals exceed 100 to 125 millimetres. In contrast, many southern regions of Norway, Sweden and also Finland are forecast to have precipitation totals generally near, if not below, climate averages, but particularly across southern regions of Norway and also Sweden. Within the longer term, during the final week of January, a similar precipitation trend is forecast to continue, with above or well above average precipitation expected across western and northwestern areas of Norway, as unsettled conditions dominate here, whilst elsewhere precipitation totals are forecast to be below climate averages as high pressure influences the weather. And now taking a look at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And whilst there is a trend over the next 5 to 7 days for precipitation totals to be generally lower than they have been of late across Queensland, within the longer term during the final week of January, there is an emerging signal for precipitation totals to increase once again, with at least 125 to 150 millimetres possible in places. There is also a risk of some heavy precipitation developing across also western areas of Australia, with again similar totals with perhaps as much as 125 to 150 millimetres. There is also medium to high confidence to suggest that the very heavy precipitation across South Africa is likely to continue over the next 7 to 14 days, with perhaps in excess of 150 millimetres of rainfall in places. As a result, there is a risk of flooding across parts of south and southeastern areas of the country in particular. And finally, taking a look at the temperatures across the United States, and central and eastern areas of the country in particular are forecast to experience temperatures at least 4 to 8 degrees below climate averages over the next 7 to 10 days at least, with mean surface temperatures at least minus 15 or minus 20 degrees Celsius as the very cold weather persists. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.